Hey, good morning. This is the trailhead for Mount Margaret, which I'm hoping to hike up today. It's also the trailhead for Lake Lillian and a bunch of other trails. But I'm really curious about today because of this cool book about Snoqualmie Pass by Prater. Slopes of this mountain and the nearby Coachella Ridge were actually the locations of the original tribal trail, later the first wagon road, called Snoqualmie Pass. So this will be like a hike into history here. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Here's some Queen's Cup lilies blooming. I think this is our native thistle called edible thistle. These are thimbleberry blossoms. Okay, here's where we turn off of the forest road and hit the actual trail. Here's some bear grass blooming. Here's some serviceberry blooms. Here's the first tiger lily of the day. And this is Sitka Mountain Ash. Okay, here the trail crosses the old decommissioned forest road and continues on the other side. I love the cool temperatures when you leave really early on a hike. Typically I'll leave the house between 2 and 4 a.m. depending on how far away the trailhead is. Here's our first view of Lake Coachella. Here's some bluebells. And next to them, that's Sitka valerian. Here's our first arnica. Okay, now we can see a couple of peaks along the Pacific Crest Trail. That is Silver Peak. That's a wonderful hike. I've got a video of that, as is next to it Abiel Peak, although Abiel doesn't have a maintained trail. It's more of a scramble. And look who decided to come out of the clouds. There's Mount Rainier. I had a wonderful hike there to Skyscraper Peak last week. Okay, we're at the trail junction with Margaret Lake, which we're not going to go to. So we're going to continue along the Lake Lillian Trail and then turn off in about a half mile to go up the peak. We're inside a cloud now, and man, did it suddenly get cold. Wow, you can see the cloud behind me there. So here's a little unmarked turnoff just past that talus slope we passed. And then that way is going to take us up to Mount Margaret. And if you continued, you'd be headed towards Lake Lillian. There's Margaret Lake down there. And here's, I think, bracted lousewort. And then next to it is our native columbine. Hey, welcome to Mount Margaret. Spectacular. Man, And sure enough, the clouds are clearing, so I should be able to give you some pretty good panoramas in just a little bit. But back to the history, and the author of that book and a friend were actually able to find a segment of the old original tribal trail that was turned into the first wagon road there on Cachilas Ridge, which ends up coming along the bottom part of Margaret. Okay, a few more mountains have gotten out of the clouds. There's Red Mountain next to Kindle Peak, and then the long Snoqualmie Mountain there. So that's High Box Peak there, and then Three Queens next to it. And now looking north, that's Cashmere, I believe, and 8 Mile next to it. And then a little closer to us is Mount Stewart. And then looking south, and then of course here again is Mount Rainier. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for coming along, and I hope to see you on the next one.